Welcome back to Decoristique, where we celebrate vintage, classic, and rustic interiors that tell a story of timeless elegance. Today, we're stepping into a space that's often overlooked but full of design potential, the stairway. If you've ever dreamed of turning your staircase into a vintage glam statement infused with rustic charm and quiet luxury, you're in the right place. Stairways are more than just transitional spaces, they're architectural moments waiting to be elevated. With the right textures, finishes, and carefully curated decor, your staircase can become a stunning focal point that feels both refined and warmly lived in. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to Decoristique, like this video, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Tell us about your stairway style and what kind of vintage glam details you love most. Let's begin this beautiful journey upward. Every vintage glam stairway begins by honoring the bones of the home. Whether you have a sweeping banister or a simple wooden staircase, lean into its architectural character instead of hiding it. Original wood grain, carved spindles, and curved railings all contribute to that timeless aesthetic. If your home echoes the charm of historic cities like Paris or London, consider enhancing ornate details with subtle gilded accents. A touch of antique gold along the railing or Newel posts instantly introduces vintage glam without overpowering rustic warmth. For more modern homes, adding classic trim, panel molding, or decorative stair brackets can create the illusion of heritage. It's about layering character thoughtfully, building quiet luxury from the structure outward. A vintage-inspired stair runner transforms both the look and feel of your staircase. Choose patterns reminiscent of antique Persian rugs or faded florals in muted tones like dusty rose, sage green, or warm taupe. These hues create depth while preserving that rustic softness. Materials matter deeply in quiet luxury. Opt for natural fibers such as wool or a wool blend with subtle distressing. The gentle wear adds authenticity, as though the stairway has carried generations of stories. Brass or antique bronze stair rods introduce that glamorous vintage sparkle. Their subtle gleam catches the light and elevates even the simplest runner into a statement of refined taste. A stairway gallery wall is a signature of classic homes. Curate a collection of vintage frames in varying finishes: aged gold, distressed wood, and antique silver. The mix creates layered visual interest while staying cohesive. Consider black and white family portraits, botanical prints, or architectural sketches inspired by landmarks like Château de Versailles. These subtle references to European elegance amplify the glam factor without losing rustic authenticity. Arrange the frames to follow the slope of the staircase for a natural, flowing composition. The result feels intentional, curated, and deeply personal, hallmarks of quiet luxury. Lighting is transformative in stairway design. A vintage chandelier cascading above the staircase instantly sets a glamorous tone. Crystal droplets, wrought iron details, or aged brass finishes all echo timeless elegance. For homes with high ceilings, consider lantern-style fixtures inspired by grand estates. Even smaller stairwells can benefit from wall sconces that cast a warm, golden glow. Soft, warm bulbs are essential. The goal is an inviting ambience that feels intimate rather than theatrical, luxury that whispers rather than shouts. Wood is the soul of rustic decor. Highlight original stair treads with a rich stain or matte finish that emphasizes natural grain patterns. The organic texture grounds the glamour. Distressed finishes or reclaimed wood elements add authenticity. A reclaimed wood feature wall adjacent to the staircase can beautifully contrast with more refined metallic accent. Pairing wood with subtle metallic details creates balance, earthy yet elegant, aged yet refined. This harmony defines vintage glam in a rustic setting. Mirrors amplify both light and style. A large, ornate mirror placed at the base or landing of your staircase enhances brightness and introduces old-world charm. Look for gilded frames with intricate carvings reminiscent of European salons. Even slightly tarnished finishes add character and depth. Mirrors also visually expand narrow stairways, making the space feel grander while maintaining a cozy, intimate aesthetic. Quiet luxury thrives on texture. Combine soft linen drapes, woven baskets, and antique ceramics near the stairway to create a tactile experience. A small vintage console table at the base can display stacked books, perhaps classics like Pride and Prejudice, adding literary sophistication. Layering different materials, wood, brass, linen, and glass, ensures the stairway feels curated rather than staged. Texture tells the story of time and taste. Metallic accents are the jewelry of vintage glam decor. Incorporate brushed brass rail caps, decorative nail heads, or antique bronze candle holders. Avoid overly polished finishes. Instead, choose metals with patina that suggest history and craftsmanship. These subtle glimmers catch natural light, elevating the stairway with understated sophistication. Fresh or dried florals soften the architectural lines of a staircase. Arrange hydrangeas, eucalyptus, or wildflowers in ceramic vases along landing. For a vintage feel, use muted, romantic color palettes. Think creamy whites, dusty pinks, and soft greens. Greenery introduces life and warmth, bridging rustic charm with refined elegance. Invest in artwork that feels storied and timeless. Oil paintings with pastoral scenes or still lives create a sense of heritage. Look to artistic traditions reminiscent of the romantic landscapes seen in museums like the Louvre. Even reproductions can evoke the same old-world sophistication. Artwork along a staircase becomes a journey, each step revealing another glimpse of beauty and narrative. The Newel post is an opportunity for detail. Consider carved wood posts with subtle gilding or decorative finials. Adding a small vintage lamp or floral arrangement beside the base of the post draws attention to this architectural feature. These thoughtful enhancements turn structural elements into design statements. Color sets the emotional tone. Opt for warm neutrals, creamy ivories, or muted grays that feel soothing and elegant. Accent with subtle metallic or jewel tones, deep emerald or sapphire, for a whisper of glam. A restrained palette allows textures and materials to shine without overwhelming the senses. At the foot of the staircase, place a vintage console table with curved legs and aged finishes. This anchors the space with purpose. Style it with a decorative tray, candles, and perhaps a framed print inspired by classic interiors of Florence. The console becomes a stage for layered storytelling, blending rustic authenticity with refined glamour. Wrought iron balusters bring an old-world European feel. Their curves and scrolls add artistry to the structure. Pair iron with wooden handrails to maintain warmth. The contrast between dark metal and natural wood creates visual drama. This combination embodies the balance of strength and elegance central to vintage glam design. True quiet luxury is personal. Incorporate heirlooms, travel finds, or handcrafted decor that tells your story. Maybe it's a vintage clock, a porcelain vase, or framed letters passed down through generations. These pieces infuse authenticity. When your stairway reflects your history, it transcends decoration and becomes an intimate expression of home. Vintage Glam decor for stairways is about harmony, where rustic textures meet refined details, and every element feels intentional yet effortless. By layering wood, metal, textiles, and personal treasures, you create a staircase that elevates your entire home. Remember, quiet luxury is not about excess. It's about thoughtful choices, quality materials, and timeless design that whispers elegance at every step. Thank you for spending this time with Decoristique. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment sharing your favorite stairway detail. We can't wait to see you in our next vintage-inspired journey.